Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first session of IWKZ Referat. Today we are proud to welcome all of you here, and with us is Mr. Professor Dr. Agus Rubianto, Attaché for Education and Culture of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Berlin, and also Ms. Angela Leer, the lecturer of Fachhochschule Brandenburg. Welcome in Rumah Budaya KBRI Berlin for our session of IWKZ Referat, and this is Berlin's first student panelist discussion in Berlin. So our program for today, in the next 2 or 3 hours, we are going to discuss about small and medium enterprises in Indonesia, about the role and function of small and medium enterprises of Indonesia. And there are 6 outstanding students here from the university and also Fachhochschule of Berlin and Brandenburg. So I would like to inform you that our 6 students here are ready to present and to give some knowledge about small and medium enterprises in Indonesia, and which impact does Indonesia have in the future of these small and medium enterprises. Because as we know that the increase of economic growth of Indonesia in the last 2 or 3 hours has significantly increasing. As example, in the year 2012, we have 6.3% of global development index in Indonesia, and so that's why the role of small and medium enterprises especially has a very important impact in the global economy market in Indonesia, and that's why we are here and we try to discuss with the audience about what could we do as a students here, especially for small and medium enterprises, because although we have a lot of limitations, I mean, this is different with a big industry or different with a big business. But even though small medium enterprises is suitable for developing countries or for the countries which has a number of citizens or a number of populations there. So the first one, I have Mr. Rizaldi Dewandamara. He is a student of Fachhochschule Brandenburg for the major Wirtschaft Informatik. His hobby is weightlifting, and he's going to present a topic about the role of cooperative banking, or the role of cooperative in small and medium enterprises in Indonesia. And the second speaker is Mr. Arfa Windina from Fachhochschule Brandenburg. He is student of Betriebswirtschaftslehre, Wirtschaft Informatik, I'm sorry. And in the future, he would like to be a great businessman. And he's going to present to us a subtopic about application of appropriate technology for small and medium enterprises in Indonesia. The third presenter is, please welcome, Mr. Muhammad Julian Robert. He's a student of BWL in Fachhochschule Brandenburg, and he wants to develop the economy of Subang district in West Java. Our fourth speaker is Mr. Shefi Herdian. He's a student of Wirtschaft Mathematik in HTW Berlin, Hochschule für Technik und Wirtschaft Berlin. And for today, he would like to share about knowledge. He would like to share knowledge about how to be entrepreneurship for students, which may be very interesting for us as students here. And the fifth presenter is, please welcome, Ms. Amalia Aryani Pertiwi. She is a student of Wirtschaft Mathematik in BWL, I'm sorry, students of BWL in FH Brandenburg. And her topic for today is a cooperation between big and small scale business in Indonesia. And the last but not least is Miss Dina Putri Tunjung Sari. She's the only technical university students here in this session. Her major is Wirtschaft Mathematik at TU Berlin, and for today she wants to share knowledge about obstacles and challenges of small and medium enterprises in Indonesian market. Okay, so after the presentation session, so we would like to have a small 5 minutes questions and answer and also discussion. But before we start our program, I would like to give into the floor to the Attaché for Education and Culture of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Berlin, Mr. Professor Dr. Agus Rubianto, to open the discussion session and also the panelist session for today. Please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's a big honor to speak here, but I try not only speak in English but also in German, because we have also guests from Germany, so ich versuche auf Deutsch zu sprechen. Ja, verehrte Gäste, selamat datang. Ich heiße Sie alle herzlich willkommen zur heutigen Vortragsveranstaltung des Indonesischen Weisheit und Kulturzentrum mit dem Thema kleine und mittelständische Unternehmen in Indonesien. Als Bildung- und Kulturattaché der Botschaft der Republik Indonesia und Leiter des Rumah Budaya, unsere Botschaft ist hier für mich eine besondere Ehre. Das Grundwort des heutigen Veranstaltungen sprechen zu dürfen. Kleine und mittelständische Unternehmer, kurz KMU, atau bahasa Indonesia itu usaha kecil menengah, sind der Schlüsselfaktor für die wirtschaftliche Entwicklung Indonesiens. Mit einer geschätzten Anzahl von knapp 40 Millionen Unternehmen im Jahr 2012 machen der KMU etwa 99,98% aller geleisteten Unternehmen in Indonesien aus. Sie beschäftigen rund 85 Millionen Menschen. Das sind etwa 96% aller indonesischen Arbeitskräfte. Dennoch lag der Beitrag der KMU zum Bruttoinlandsprodukt nur bei 53%. Hier zeigt sich ein großes, noch ungenutztes Potenzial der KMU, welches es für die weitere wirtschaftliche Entwicklung unseres Landes freizulegen gilt. Ein zentrales Element hierfür ist ein in der Gesellschaft verankerter Unternehmertum. In seiner verordneten Rede zur Erforderung der besten Nachwuchsunternehmen Indonesien im Rahmen des CSR-Programm von Bank Mandiri, Wirausaha Muda, heißt auf Indonesisch, welche am 17. Januar 2013 in Jakarta Convention Center stattgefunden hat, sagte Indonesiens Vice-Präsident Budiono, dass der wirtschaftliche Fortschritt in Indonesien hin zu einem entwickelnden Land für 3 wesentliche Faktoren abhängig ist, nämlich Unternehmertum, welche in Indonesien nach wie vor eher schwach ausgeprägt sei, Innovation und Sovereignty. Jadi ini kalau bahasa Indonesianya ini Bapak Wakil Presiden itu ya mengatakan ada 3 komponen di mana usaha kecil menengah ini adalah salah satunya ya. Jadi unternehmen itu di Indonesia itu juga ada program di semua universitas itu ada namanya web ya unternehmen. Oleh sebab itu kali ini kita juga berusaha untuk itu ya. We speak in English and also in Deutsch gitu. Beide. Atau itu 3 Indonesian, Deutsch und English. So we can speak 3 languages. also for my kids, yeah, Japanese with our mother language. I come from Java, so I speak Japanese. Und als Titel damit, ja, diese drei Sprachen, ja, es wird damit austerische Ökonom und wirtschaftlicher Theoretiker Joseph Alois Schumpeter, der akan der Verzichter Jahrhundert mit diesem drei Begriffen den Prozess beschreibt, der zurzeit einem Ausschwung im Konjunkturzyklus und RSC erzeichnete der Unternehmer als Motor der Entwicklung. Spätere Autoren haben der Modell zur Beschreibung des wirtschaftlichen Ausschwungs in Entwicklungsländern benutzt. Ya, jadi ini ada ekonom dari Austria namanya Joseph Alois Schumpeter. Jadi coba dilihat di situ, ya kata kuncinya itu Joseph Alois Schumpeter. Jadi ada 3 komponen itu. Ya, jadi entertainment, kemudian yang berikutnya itu adalah inovasi, yang ketiga itu adalah bagaimana menghilangkan sifat-sifat yang meredam kreativitas. Pada hari ini kita termasuk yang kreatif ini. Ya, pada ini kita berkumpul bersama. We are trying to speak in English, maybe also in German, gitu ya. But however we try to make innovation, ya, with our knowledge, gitu. Nah, ist genauso auch in der Jakarta Declaration, die am 16. Juli 2012 von der deutschen Bundeskanzlerin Angela Merkel und dem Präsidenten der Republik Indonesia Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono während der Besuch der Bundeskanzlerin in Indonesia unterzeichnet wurde, wird explizit erwähnt, dass der Aufbau von kleinen und mittelständischen Unternehmen eine wichtige Antriebsmotor für das Wirtschaftswachstum und Mittel zur Armutsbekämpfung in Indonesien ist. Es soll daher in der weiteren bilateralen Zusammenarbeit beider Länder eine zentrale Stellenwert einnehmen. Liebe Gäste, in dem Sinne bin ich gespannt auf diese Vorträge, das heutige Abend und hoffe auch eine angeregte Diskussion darüber, was wir gemeinsam unternehmen können, um diesen den Ziel eines entwickelten Landes weiter zu bringen. Mit einer starken Wirtschaft, in der unternehmerisch denken und nachhaltiger Handeln groß geschrieben werden. Vielen Dank, terima kasih. Darf ich auf Indonesia sprechen? Jadi apa namanya? Saya tidak bisa lama-lama, jadi cuma hanya karena saya juga ada punya kegiatan pada hari ini ya. Jadi ini adalah satu kegiatan yang bagus. Coba nanti apa namanya bahasa Inggrisnya, bahasa Jermannya juga dilatih ya untuk terlatih untuk diskusi. Pada saat ini juga saya ucapkan terima kasih dan penghargaan kepada unternehmer juga yang di sini, ada Bu Endang ini yang di sana. Ini Frau Endang ya, Miss Endang is wirklich Unternehmen, small entertainment. Dan Pak Ali Nasrun yang hadir pada ini, Bapak kita yang selalu memberikan dorongan pada kita semua untuk maju. Ya, jadi adik-adik sekalian, saya sangat bangga dan gembira sekali bisa ketemu di sini. Kalau dulu saya duduk di sini sebagai mahasiswa dulu tahun 1996. Dulu 1996. Ich war eine Studentin. Damals habe ich in der Lehre gearbeitet. Aber muss ich warten ein Jahr ya, bei Professor Eichler. Deswegen ich suche nach die andere Professor. Ich fahre nach Paderborn. Jadi saya dulu itu ya apa namanya juga Berliner sebenarnya, mau jadi Berliner tapi nggak jadi karena harus menunggu setahun ya, jadi mencari yang universitas namanya, jadi saya sekolah di Paderborn. Demikian yang saya sampaikan ya, kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Selamat diskusi, ich drücke die Daumen dan toh. Semoga sukses dan ya Das war eine spannende Diskussion.
Thank you for Professor Dr. Agus Rubianto as Attaché for Education and Culture of Indonesian Embassy. And is it okay with the sound, or we should? It's a little bit.
Feedback, isn't there?
Yes. We try to solve this problem.
Cek, mati.
It's reverse.
Test.
It's too loud. It's a bit too loud. Yeah. It's just.
Wissenschaft, a program from Indonesisches Weisheits- und Kulturzentrum e.V. We have four big programs for the year 2013. The first one is IWKZ Tutorium. IWKZ Tutorium is dedicated for students. It's dedicated to students to support in their study about mathematics, German, English, physics, and any other subjects. And we also have IWKZ Seminar. IWKZ Seminar is much more scientific discussion with a representative presenter and a scientific topic. For example, in the next month, in February, we try to invite the ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to give presentation about the bilateral relationship of Indonesia and Germany. That has been established for since 60 years. And we also have IWKZ Fortbildung. It's kind of soft skill program for all levels, from students until professionals. And we try to give a service in soft skill, like in computer, in computing, or in language and any other fields. And for today is IWKZ Referat. IWKZ Referat is actually dedicated to students, because the students in bachelor or master, they shouldn't have to wait until they have the doctoral degree to present some scientific discussion, which actually is right now. So people should have a PhD or should have a doctor title to present a scientific discussion, but we think it's not true, because we are students, although we are still in bachelor program or also in master program. We could also share knowledge to other audience. So this is kind of the power of students, as Amelia Aryani Pertiwi said. Okay, so we try to make this program is semi-formal. So I mean, do not hesitate if you have any questions. You can address your questions, because after each presentations we're gonna have a 5-minute discussion session, and at the end I would like to please Ms. Angela Leo to give some feedback about the presentation, and also maybe about the topic, what may be very useful not only for the presenters but also for the audience, because most of our audience are also students who are going to start in the university and also in the Fachhochschule, or maybe already in the university, and they should be able to present in other languages. And this program is not only in English, but you can also address the questions in German and also in Bahasa Indonesia. It's absolutely free. And well, so let's start our first program. I would like to welcome Mr. Rizaldi Dewandamara to give a presentation of the role of cooperative in the
A great honor for me to stand right here in front of you. In this session, I would like to share you about the cooperative's role and function to enhance SMS growth. So, if you could take a look at that word, enhance. I didn't put some word like support or maybe help, but I put the word enhance. Why? You will know why. And so let's get started with the first presentation. Before I try to share to you about the cooperative's role and function for the SME's growth, I would like to introduce to you what actually small and medium enterprise is. So, if you could see, there are already 3 points here. 3 exact definition what SME actually is. The first one is the small and medium enterprises is an enterprise which has assets of 200,000 rupiah, exclusive land and buildings. Exclude land and building, so just asset. It's money or maybe everything, exclude land and building. And the second one is sales revenue, maximum 1 billion rupiah per year. So that's very big amount, especially for small and medium enterprise. But not so big for an enterprise itself. That's why it describes small and medium enterprise. And actually, they have to stand alone. So they don't work under any big enterprise. They don't work alone. They don't work under any big enterprise. They just work alone. They have actually no, if you could say, branch or so. They have no branches, so they just stand alone. So, small and medium enterprise is actually the backbone of the country's economy. Does anyone recognize what kind of figure that is? Yes?
I think it's Atlas.
It's true. He is Atlas. He is, yeah, if you could say, he is the backbone of the earth. Who? Yes, he is the backbone of the earth, if you could say so. Why I choose this figure to describe small and medium enterprises as a backbone of the country's economy. If you may recall, the name is just small and medium enterprise, but it's not small, it's not medium. It has a very big role to increase the economic in Indonesia. Why? Because of these 3 points. The first one, SME does not depend as larger enterprises on financial and banking sectors. Maybe some of you could recall there was a very big economic crisis in the year 1998. It happens in all over the world, especially Asia and Southeast Asia, especially in Indonesia. But luckily, all of the small and medium enterprises, it didn't affect the SME. After all, it didn't affect. Why? Because small and medium enterprise doesn't depend as larger enterprises on financial. We know that financial crisis happened only at the banking sector. Happened only at the banking sector. So SME doesn't have a connection, if you could say so, with this banking. They didn't have some fund from this banking, so it doesn't affect the SME after all. The second one is SME doesn't involve in the global market. They are specialized domestically. Yes, there is also some example of the SME who export their products, but not all of the SMEs player export their product to the other country. They play domestically, just in Indonesia. That's why it doesn't involve in the global market, and it makes that this SME didn't affected by the global crisis. And the last one is the small and medium enterprises produces only the basic good. What is actually the basic good? Basic good is everything that we consume every day. No matter what, no matter how many money we have, no matter what time is it, we consume it every day, every second, every minute, every hour. For example, food. We eat at least 3 times a day, right? So this SME produce basic good such as food. So it didn't affect the demand. It didn't affect the demand on the market. Hey, I don't have any money here, but you want to eat, right? So just buy it from the store, for example. This SME didn't play or doesn't play at all at the luxury goods such as car, jewelry, or so. So that makes the demand is always stable. They have very good elasticity. So the second part of my presentation is this cooperative. Does anyone ever heard about POAC? Exactly, it describes down there: planning, organizing, activating, and controlling. It's all. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. So POAC is planning, organizing, activating, and controlling. Why I put these 4 words in cooperative? Because cooperatives, cooperative's task is actually exactly the same as the enterprise, is at the enterprise level, such as planning, organizing, activating, and controlling. And all of this function is done by the member itself. Everything is done by the member itself. So you could say it's intern. It's intern. Cooperative has nothing to do with some outsider, but except for government. Government, yes, if you could say it, government still have a little role to help this cooperative. So the question is, can they actually work together?
Yes, you can.
It sounds like Obama. That is the SME, and that one is the symbol of the Koperasi Indonesia, Cooperative of Indonesia. The big question is, can they actually work together? If people say yes, that's the true answer. Cooperative and SME can work together. They do really can work together. Why? Because if you could say there are 4 points there. The first point is the fund provider. One of the example of the fund provider is actually the Kredit Usaha Rakyat. It's a credit from the government. So the government gives some amount of money to the cooperative, and this cooperative can lend this sum of money to everyone who want to work alone, who want to realize their business idea, who want to enhance their business idea. So the first function of the cooperative for the SME is the fund provider. One of the example is KUR, Kredit Usaha Rakyat. And the second one is the supplier. Cooperative's member is anyone, include anyone, I do really mean anyone who want to be a member. Include, for example, I have a business of chips here. kentang odorzo, kentang goreng. I make some chip, but I have no raw material such as potato. Where do I can find this potato? I only produce chip, but I didn't plant the potato. I could buy this potato or this raw material at the cooperative, because in my cooperative, in which I am joining in right now, they sell potato. So cooperative can also work as my supplier. Furthermore, cooperative can also work as a buyer. I already have my product here. I believe it's very good product. I can sell it with a competitive price, and everyone will happy about my product. But the question is, where I can sell it? I have, let's say, I have no money at all for the advertising. I just have this little amount of investment. So that's the chain. It's a very interesting. It's very or something. They work by himself. They work by himself. They have a business idea. They create their business. They enhance their business so they can work from that business. And also, it makes them independent. So yes, we have already come to the conclusion. Oh no, already. So I took it one of the Koperasi in Silungkang. So that is a very good example from the joint or the combination, a very good combination between the SME and the cooperative in Indonesia. It's located in West Sumatra. It has already 198 members. The assets is almost 2 billion rupiah right now. And the dividend itself per year is more than 94 million rupiah. It's a very big amount for a SME. Very, very, very big amount. And one of the most recognized product from this Silungkang, Kopi Inkra Silungkang, is Songket Silungkang. People say there are three Songket Silungkang, a kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are still many kind of Songket Silungkang which is sold there. So we already come to the conclusion. Yes, they can work well together between the SME and cooperative. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Mr. Rizaldi Dewandamara. And now is 5 minutes question and answer.
You can use this microphone. I just would like to ask the last conclusion slide. Can you back? Yes, you mentioned about the dividend or equity. That's 94 million rupiah. So it means that the dividend will be shared to the all member or what?
Which will be shared to all of the members at the last year on this. Yes, this of English, bedrijfsjaar.
Process, a business process.
Bedrijfsjaar.
Revenue.
Revenue. Thank you very much. So, which in each year they collect. So we can say they collect almost 95 million rupiah, and this amount of money will be shared to all of the members. You could say that is the pay for all of the members of this Koperasi Silungkang, of this Kopi Inkra Silungkang. So if you want to be a member of Kopi Inkra Silungkang, you have also you have a very big opportunity. First, on the one side, you could sell your product there, and on the other side, you also get some more money from this dividend if there is dividend there. If there isn't, so as du Pech gehabt.
Thank you. Please give applause to Mr. Rizal. Unfortunately, I could only give one session for questions for this presentation, because actually we only have 15 minutes for each presentations. But maybe in the next presenters we're gonna have much more time for addressing the questions. Okay, so I will go to this next presenter. Please welcome Mr. Arfa Windina. We would like to share about applications of appropriate technology for small and medium enterprises in Indonesia. Aber ich muss jetzt dann auf Deutsch sprechen, weil wird jetzt dann die Präsentation auf Deutsch halten. Okay, dann die Frage kann auch dann natürlich in der deutschen Sprache oder auf Englisch oder auch auf Bahasa Indonesia gestellt werden. Ja.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Guten Abend, sehr geehrte Damen und Herren. Jetzt möchte ich möchte Ihnen über die Anwendungen
laptop nemu.
Information über die Verwendung der geeigneten Information Technologie für die kleineren und mittleren Unternehmen. Expression. Yeah, this information technology. What's an information technology? Information technology is eine Prozess Informationen durch die Anwendungen der Technologie. Ja, und Technologie spielt eine wichtige Rolle bei der Unterstützung eines Unternehmens, bei der Unterstützung der Geschäftsprozess eines Unternehmens, einschließlich der kleineren und mittleren Unternehmen. In großen Unternehmen die Anwendungen die Informationstechnologie wurde weithin in der Unterstützung der Weiterentwicklung von Unternehmen angewandt. Aber für die kleinen und mittleren Unternehmen die Anwendungen von Informationstechnologie ist noch niedrig. Und dann kommt eine Frage, was ist die Vorteile und Nachteile Informationstechnologie in mittleren und kleineren Unternehmen? Die Vorteile von KIO, die erste Vorteile, Verbesserung der Produkte und Dienstleistungen. Wir können auch unsere Informationen über unser Produkt im Internet legen, damit die Customer einfach lesen, was ist die Vorteile unseres Produkts, was ist unser Produkt, und die zweite Mehrwert für die Verpackung des Produkts oder Service. Ja, wie lange dauert zum Beispiel, wenn man ein Produkt im Internet bestellen? Wie lange dauert und wie ist die Verpackung? Mit dem Verpackung ada richtige Zeit oder pünktlich, zum Beispiel 3 Tage. Und die dritte, weniger Arbeit wird erfordert. Mit Internet, wir brauchen nicht so viel Arbeiter, weil wir brauchen nur einige Arbeit für diese product in internet herstellen. Verbruik erhalten vielfältige Informationen und Details. Und die Nachteile. Es gibt häufiger Betrug im Internet zwischen Käufer und Verkäufer. Und weil das Business über E-Commerce noch nicht sehr weit entwickelt sind. Und die Verbraucher können nicht direkt sehen den Zustand der Artikel gekauft werden. Und die dritte Nachteil, die Anzahl der Arbeitsplätze wird wenig, weil E-Commerce nicht viele Arbeiter braucht, um die Transaktion zu dienen. Wie ist die Entwicklung? Die Entwicklung, die Informationstechnologie werden Unternehmen angewandt. Erfolg eines Unternehmens sollte durch die Geschwindigkeit beim Zugriff auf Informationen gestützt werden. Informationstechnologie als Werkzeug, um Geschäftsziele zu erreichen, verwendet werden, weil die Bedürfnis der Technologie für die kleinen und mittleren Unternehmen hoch ist. Und es gibt auch einige Probleme für die Informationstechnologie in mittleren und kleinen Unternehmen. Die erste Problem, mangelnde Wettbewerbsfähigkeit mit ausländischen Produkten, weil die lokale Marketing noch mit dem traditionellen ist. Und jedes Produkt sollte eine Märkte die Wettbewerbsfähigkeit verbessern können. Und die zweite Problem, es gibt mangelndes Wissens über die Entwicklung der Informationstechnologie und mangelndes Wunsch, ihn als tragendes Aufwand zu nutzen. Eine starke Marke ist noch nicht genug. Die Entwicklung und der Anstieg der Internetnutzer sind immer mehr. Es ist möglich, dass die Verbreitung von Social Media und offene Märkte eine große Marketing werden. Beruften, sein Geschäft wurde nicht weit sogar bekannt sein, vergessen zu werden. Und die letzte Problem, es gibt mangelnde Sozialisierung und Bereitstellung zusätzlicher Verständnis der Nutzung von Computer und dem Internet. Wachstum und Entwicklung des aktuellen Internet können nur von manchen Menschen genossen werden. Es gibt viele die alte Leute, die eine Internet oder Technologie weiß nicht. Dan sie können nicht zum Beispiel über Technologie oder über Informationen über die Produkt sehen. Ja, mit Informationstechnologie verbinden mit dem E-Commerce. Das ist ein Beispiel von E-Commerce. Und was ist E-Commerce? E-Commerce ist ein Begriff verwendet, den Verkauf von Waren und Dienstleistungen über das Internet beschreiben. In allgemein Begriff können als Website interpretiert werden, die eine Produkte im Internet erwerben. Ja, das ist ein Beispiel für Supermarkt. Sukamat macht eine Werbung in erster Seite in Sukamat, in Website. Und das ist eine Frau und sie will eine Ware oder etwas im Internet kaufen. Ja, muss muss sie im Internet suchen, was sie will kaufen. Und dann bestellen und sie können auch direkt bezahlen bei online. Und kommt die zweite ist die Verpackung von der Produkt, die gekauft wird. Und die dritte liefert nach ihr Haus. Und die vierte kommt den Waren in ihr Haus. Und das ist auch die Vorteile von Sukamat. Warum muss Sukamat? Weil die gute Produkt und gibt auch 1000 Produkte und dauert von Lieferung nur 1 bis 2 Tage. Ja, das war alles. Dann Wozu ist eine Werbung? Unser Target ist eine Customer. Wir müssen unser Produkt Customer informieren. Wir müssen damit die Customer interessiert mit unserem Produkt. Wir müssen mit guter Verpackung, guter Werbung und wir müssen auch mit den Detailinformationen geben. Funktion der Werbung, Vorstellen der Produkte oder Dienstleistungen für das Publikum. Ja, wir müssen unser Produkt vorstellen, damit sie wissen, was ist unser Produkt dan sie die Entscheidung für unser Produkt zu kaufen. Ja, das ist auch ein Beispiel von Kaskus. Ja, aber vielleicht Kaskus vergleichen mit eBay. Das ist die Struktur Markter. Wir arbeiten E-Commerce. Ja, der Internetvermarkter macht eine Chatting mit dem Customer. Er kann kontaktieren Adobe und dann die Marketer auch macht gute Dienstleistung nach Customer und Marketer upload seine Produkt oder neue Produkt dann auf und bei E-Mail sie können auch ihre Werbung bei E-Mail schicken, damit die anderen auch ihre Produkt sehen. Und dann bei Browsing vielleicht wir können auch vielleicht einfach in Google schreiben, was wollen wir suchen und kommt auch zum Beispiel, wenn wir suchen in Google Sukamat und kommt auch Sukamat. Das macht von Marketer auch. Ja, das ist die Situation di Sachverhalten Online-Market internasional. Civil Online-Market internasional. Jadi detail van online market internasional in Indonesia. Waarom? Want in Indonesia nog niet te veel e-commerce benutzen. in Indonesian, benutzt nur die traditionelle Marketing, aber nicht mit dem E-Commerce oder Technologie. Die Technologie in Indonesia ist noch ein bisschen möglich, aber jedes Jahr kommt immer die Verbesserung. Und wenn viele Menschen Indonesia verstanden, wie man einheimische Produkt über das Internet zu präsentieren, kommt die zweite Bilder. Wird Indonesia viele Werbung nach anderen Ländern informieren. Und das war's. Dankeschön für Ihre Fragen.
Dankeschön, Herr Afawindina, für die Präsentation über die Technologie und kleinere und mittlere Unternehmen in Indonesien. Und jetzt haben wir noch 5 Minuten, so ungefähr 5 Minuten Fragerunde für das Publikum. Ibu Endang.
We don't need it. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Should I just ask in English? But my German is not good enough. Well, this is good as well. What I have experienced in Indonesia, especially in Jogja, they have all really good in product. Okay, but the problem with communication. Okay, when I ask them, if I compare with China, they're really good in communication, which is they have Skype, and then when I just send it, the picture what I'm asking, they just quick give me, oh, this is what I want is, okay? But the problem with Indonesia and Jogja, they don't have any communication, which is, I would like to ask you all in here if we can support the small enterprises over there, because if we compete with China, we are better for the quality, especially. And then, can I just sit? And but this is sad, because my country, it is really good. They are really creative. There's a lot of things that's really nice with the art. But the communication for international, go to international, that they don't have the facility and then they don't have a knowledge for this. And if I just go, from the place over there, when I just asking, do you have any, of course website, I don't have it, but at least email. Oh no, Ibu, you just use the SMS. Wow. When I just use the SMS, especially from here, I cannot give the accuracy what I want to make the product, because I have right now is, I like import or export, and then I would like to bring, some product, bring it here. And then when I just see it also at that time for import Indonesia, I feel sad as well in here. What I'm saying is we should prepare it before, it's from Indonesia import coming here, then we just look from the buyer in here. So if we're selling from there, from Indonesia, is only retail, then they don't have any buyer. So we cannot, they cannot, it's just selling like this, and then how much it costs to come in here, to bring it here. And then finally, people in here, they don't really consumptive like at Indonesia. People in here they like rice instead of to buy something. So it's better if you just sell it at Indonesia, because we have a big population, and then the demand over there is quite such a big thing. So what I would like to ask for this, for all of us in here who studying here, that to promote, to give the knowledge, or we have to make it something that's, we have something one, and then to coordinate all of, the small enterprises over there, And then if they don't have any knowledge, fine. So we are all to helping for this. So if I just compare with China, which is like, come on, we are better than that. So this is all our homework for all of us. Then we make Indonesia is coast on international. So.
Men die hebben zo meer unternemen genomen. Das Problem ist so, dass sie, müssen sie ungefähr GBR heißt hier, umbilden. Weil diese GBR enthält 7 Personen. 7 Personen, dafür ist eine mehrere Abteilung. Das heißt, wenn es mehrere Abteilung, die jede verantwortlich was für seine Arbeit. Also wenn Sie nicht sozusagen, so wie hier in Deutschland, wenn man schon verloren gegangen ist, dann können Sie vergessen. Weil hier in Deutschland die Vertrauen und dann die Pünktlichkeit, das ist sagen, also Pünktlichkeit immer als Standard. Das heißt, wenn Sie zum Beispiel eine Woche, und dann verschoben Sie mit 2 Wochen, dann können Sie vergessen. Das heißt, Sie sind als Student hier, ist eine gute Basis, um zu bilden, weil die Unternehmer hier immer gegen alle, gegen Indonesien, gegen Brasilien, gegen alles. Das heißt, sie müssen immer Vertrauen bauen, dann müssen sie irgendwie von GBR immer eine Person hier sitzen in Berlin, damit alles zusammen koordinieren die ganze Unternehmen. Weil ich kann ja schon Deutschland, Indonesien immer so, ja, wenn das so ist, dann ist so ist. Aber hier in Berlin nicht. Nur irgendwie schon, wie heißt, irgendwie schon eine formal, das heißt, sie müssen erstmal bilden, das heißt, sie müssen immer bilden, wie sie das Vertrauen hier bauen. Wenn sie Vertrauen haben, dann können sie alles schaffen. Moment mal, ich bin schon krank, deswegen bin ich schon immer sprechen immer ganz schlecht, aber okay.
Business in Subang as with fish and rice, is it?
Yes.
Okay, and we want to share tips or let's say knowledge about how to make entrepreneurship for us students in a simple way. Please welcome.
Thank you. Like a singer? Rap or jazz? Rock. Okay. Good evening. Think that you are a candidate of President of Indonesia. What should you do if this is first time your oration? What should you say if this moment is first time your oration? I will say, let's make an amazing company like Mercedes, like Microsoft. Go to the German and learn how to create an amazing car. Go to the America and learn how to create amazing software. But don't forget, come back to your home Indonesia. And then 10 years later, back to our country, Indonesia, we create an amazing company. With that company, we can create more jobs for our people in Indonesia. We can create capital. We can create more facility, and we can create higher education. So, let's start talk about your future and our future and my future. Maybe some of us live and work in Germany, maybe, or create some company in German, or maybe a president, become a president in Indonesia, like Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono or Angela Merkel in Germany, maybe, or find another job in another country. But the worst thing is unemployed. That's worse. We get higher education, but we don't know. I get the job or no? I don't know. Wat moest ik bewerben? Keine Ahnung. Was muss ich tun danach? Is I mix Sprache Deutsch und Indonesia Ausländisch. I have some story about Hannah. It's called Hannah and Rudy. Okay. Sorry. Hannah and Rudy. This woman is Hannah. Last year, I visit my home, Subang, Jawa Barat, Indonesia, and I find something amazing, a little amazing thing. I find two children, they call Hannah and Rudy. What they do, they are students of intermediate school, but Rudy is live school and Hannah is writer studio. Then ear studio. Okay. I asked Hannah, what do you do in your life? The by this Kinder is, we can say, armory, because they are farmer. Then Elton is farmer, like unusual Indonesia job. But there are two things different. First, Hannah won writer studio. Hannah and Rudy have no more money, but Hannah verkauft alles. Hannah verkauft auf Deutsch Koftu, ist auch verkauft Snack, auf Indonesisch Gorengan, this is given at the zoo. And but Rudy is this lazy and yeah, he is handsome but lazy.
Jadi boy band.
Look mal di input and output. Jedes Monat per month, I don't know. Okay. Hannah get 4% Gesellschaft, tenaga verkauf etwas. Hannah get 10 euro per month. And for school, for food, for all, Hannah braucht 9 euro per month. Das heißt, Hannah get 1 euro per Monat to save. and I say, Hannah, you are really, really wealth. Why? But Rudy, okay, I help you, Rudy, but you must doing something for me. What is eigentlich wealth? I was talking about wealth and wealth. Some people maybe, I have a Ferrari, that means I'm wealth. Maybe true. I have a viele Grundstück in Indonesia, that may be wealth. Okay, es kann sein auch wie das, aber es gibt richtige Definition über wealth. This is definition of wealth. Wealth is when asset is higher than liability. What is asset? What is liability? Okay, I get some best bill. To my bill, Mbak Dina have a money. Asset is Mbak Dina put the money in Mbak Dina pocket. This is asset. But liability is Mbak Dina pick Mbak Dina money and output voor etwas oder so, kaufen oder so. This is eigentlich liability. Okay. And wealth is when, if asset higher than liability. The first thing that we need to understand is cash flow. What is eigentlich cash flow? What is das? Das ist einfach output in input, output when input, and 2 minutes or so, okay. Output and input. We will get bekommen wir und we will get, we will
Ausgeben wir aus. Ausgeben.
Ausgeben, genau. Okay. Talk about if you have a 1 billion euro. Think that you have 1 billion euro. What should you do?
Stop studying.
Yes.
Very good
answer. False. Give someone, you may spell friendly, wife, husband, either spend money in mall or save their money in their bank. Well, his choice was constituent. The clever man, I will choose grow. Why? When you grow your cash flow, you can give more to Mbak Dina. You can spend more in their mall also, and you can save fill in their bank. You must grow your asset, not your liability. Okay, there are some that's ein Schema von ein Finanzplaner in USA. Heißt Robert Kiyosaki und sagt das, guck mal, well, kann kommen if we are business owner, if we are investor, just 5% population, and self-employed employee own a job and employee have a job. It means the employee is not good. No. I don't mean about that. I mean, why not? We can employ in German and create a company in Indonesia. As ein friend von mir, Robert, gesagt, dass in Indonesia the capital market is their potential. Why not? We cuma spill employee when the masters, then create a company in Indonesia. Next, in Indonesia, there are some possibility and opportunity. Why yes is grosser is higher than why not? Where this is auch good when you may still we create more job for our people in Indonesia. 50 minutes or no? Okay, more one slide. Here, on a system that's mean build company. It's not an easy, but it's not too difficult. Why? Because we are student in German. As you know, if we are German, student of German, and we go to Indonesia, I think there are some add value zum Beispiel, ich habe ein Unternehmen gegründet in Indonesia und wie heißt du, CV, und was machst du? I'm student of German, okay. Danach Vertrauen, di Indonesia people vertrauen weekly. Ich habe nur 50 Euro für mein CV, nur 50 Euro. Ich habe ein Rule und Law und auch Government accept mein Proposal, nur 50. Wegen ich bin ein Student in Europa, das ist Politik. Okay, business plan. First is you must get an idea. Where becomes that an idea? You are in German. Come on, you are in German. Your internet connection is higher than Indonesia, right? Yes, I can download time minute and films. That is unsere Vorteil. Erstmal ist Idee. We need Idee haben wir. And then effort, we get some money. And we can Finanzierung unser Studium in Germany. But if no, we have some reason. I'm the student. When I'm filed, that's normal, right? This is some portal, I think. And in Indonesia, there are two different form of company. I don't know another, but this is what was gemahable in Indonesia. CV and perseroan terbatas. CV is nicht Curriculum vitae, aber okay, CV is Kommanditvernossenschaft. Okay, thank you. Kommanditvernossenschaft. Und auch this is perseroan terbatas oder in German is GmbH. Why? We must create CV versus PT. Search in Google why. Erstmal, okay? And wir müssen auch for CV wir brauchen nur Euro weekly. When du wissen, wie kann das machen in Notaris oder in Betreuung oder so, du kannst nur Rupiah. Ich hab schon das gemacht weekly. Das ist meine Erfahrung. Aber für PT, GmbH, wir brauchen Grundkapital 50 Juta oder auf Deutsch vielleicht 4.000 Euro. Nur das, 4.000. Referring to Undang-Undang Nomor 40 2007. The government accept our rule. And that's some advantage. There are some field advantage about that. And find a job with a great CV, curriculum vitae. That means if I in Mercedes-Benz or the Zogewerben, then in my CV I have my own company. That's an amazing CV, I think. And improve your leadership. We have employee, and we must care about that. We can unsere Arbeit kümmern oder so. Das ist improve our leadership, auch unsere controlling. We are in German, then our employee in Indonesia, we can manage controlling. Okay. See you there. What I mean. I understand that not easy to earn money. Don't lose fatty. Okay. 5 minutes? Okay. 1 minute? Okay, 1 minute. Loan from financial institution. That means in Indonesia, du brauchst 2 Jahre. Wenn du möchtest diese Form, brauchst du, aber nicht funktioniert. Ich meine, du hast keine Arbeit, du hast kein etwas, aber nur 1 Jahr. Aber Verlauf 2 Jahre, du kannst Loan from financial institution weekly. Das ist schon passiert. Syariah Bank, Union Government Loan, etc. And there are some business in Indonesia all at price, and du musst verkauf price weekly. Immer so. Auch online, franchise, oder das ist egal eigentlich, but you know, die wichtigste Sache ist, you must create a system and a reform in Indonesia, damit du leichen Kapital von der Bank. This is was ich gemacht habe. Ich habe eine Foundation, ich habe CV und ich habe PT, dieses Jahr PT Hadiah Semesta. Thank you. And one word. If people say, how is Indonesia future? Indonesia future is yours.
More money, so to give it, to spend it, to grow it, and to save it.
Yes.
And let's just say I have assets for 1,000 or yes, right.
Okay.
1,000 or 2,000 euros,
Yeah.
and I want to grow it, but I can't spend all my time on it to focus on it because I have to focus on my
Das
studies.
ist eigentlich was erklären, aber die Zeit.
Let me speak up finish
Okay.
Can you please give a tip for a sector which I can spend my money as an investor, which I don't have to focus it to spend many time on this sector. So I want to have profit, but I don't need this business to have a big profit. But I need it to be safe, so I want the risiko to be relatively small.
That's what you must erklären eigentlich. Besides minimal control and minimum risiko. That's what you mean.
Let Ms. Vika finish the questions. Maybe.
I think he already understands all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Minimal control and minimal risiko.
Okay. Minimal control and minimal resiko. Guck mal di eigentlich muss nach dem mein Freund von Robert, Indonesia has grow population, and I will give you some tips. First is agrobusiness. Agrobusiness auf Deutsch Landwirtschaft. Warum? Then Indonesia eat all rice, right? And I have Erfahrungen, wenn ich verkaufe mein Reis, zum Beispiel ich kaufe X und danach immer X plus 1, X plus 2, ich habe 2 Jahre Erfahrungen. Never X minus 1, immer X plus 1 oder X plus 2 wir bekommen Gewinn, aber die Höhe oder niedrig, das hängt von der Zeit. Aber gak pernah rugi. Auf Deutsch ist
nothing to lose.
Never lost. Never lost. That's right to my skill. And also you can online shop. Ich habe einen Freund von mir, verkauft Batik, aber nur per Facebook. And ein Freund von mir, Konon Finanzierung, dan Studium in UGM. This is weekly soon. Weekly, amazing. And zum Beispiel in online marketing, ich kenne einen Freund von mir, Bang Juan auch, verkauft weekly sein Software. Ich habe schon gesehen. Und das ist auch gut. Nicht only modul, not only module, book or the job. We must real. This is real life, you know. And franchise, you can buy franchise, but franchise is I envision cut our creativity because this is no buku panduan, manual instruction, and we must do that. I don't like franchise, but I do too. Okay, thank you for all.
Okay, please give applause to Mr. Shefi Hadian for his as promised. So the next presenter is Mr. Muhammad Julian Robert about market economic perspective for small and medium enterprises in Indonesia, and I hope that the slides is well read.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Jetzt möchte ich Ihnen über das Marktpotenzial für kleine und mittlere Unternehmer in Indonesien. Ich gesagt habe, dass es gibt mehrere oder folgende Function oder Potenzial there in Indonesian Action is Distribution Centrum. In markt kan de producent mit dem Kunden eine Interaktion zum Angebot ihres Produkte stehen, egal of as director oder und indirekte Entsprich. Zum Beispiel in meinem Heimatland gibt es Unternehmen von Rambutan. Was ist Rambutan? Rambutan, ja. Bringt Rambutan mit dem Auto von dem Dorf zum traditionellen Markt. Und jetzt gestern oder letzte Woche habe ich im Artikel gelesen, dass Rambutan jetzt exportieren nach Arab Saudi, Qatar und so weiter into Timur Tengah. Ja, das ist auch ein Potenzial des Marktes in Indonesia, zum Beispiel traditionell Markt. Und dann Markt in Indonesia gibt es verteilt zwei. Essen ist traditionell Markt und moderne Markt. Traditional Markt ist ein Markt, der mit dem traditionellen Managementsystem verteilt wird. Und dann der Preis ist normalerweise relativ billiger als der moderne Markt. Also wir können zum Beispiel sagen ist Mall atau Supermarket. Und dann Qualität des Waren. Aber ich denke, die Qualität des Waren im traditionellen Markt ist relativ nicht so gut als moderne Markt, aber es ist gut für mich. Ja. Und dann das lokale Waren, das lokale Produkte. Normalerweise tradisionell Markt verkauft die Sache von dem lokalen Produkte, zum Beispiel rambutan, Reis und so weiter. Und dann mit dem moderne Markt. Moderne Markt ist ein Markt, der mit dem modernen Managementsystem verteilt wird. Elit in normalerweise in der Hauptstadt in Indonesia, große Stadt in Indonesia, zum Beispiel Jakarta, Bandung oder Subang. Ja. Und das ist die Produkte, der von den ausländischen Produkten kommen. Zum Beispiel von Indonesia Adidas, Nike, Reebok, Zara, H&M und so weiter. Das ist, ich denke, ein teures Produkt. Aber viele Menschen in Indonesia kaufen das. Ich weiß es nicht. Und dann zweites ist Markt als Information die Werbung. Für Essen ist Information, ich denke, das ist im traditionellen Markt normalerweise Mutter in traditionellen Markt sagt, wie viel kostet für diese Sache, es ist gut oder nicht, und so weiter. Das ist Information, die im Markt hat, insbesondere im traditionellen Markt. Und dann Motivation der Markt, ein Konsumen eine Sache zu kaufen. Und dann der letzte ist Gestaltung des Preises. Gestaltung des Preises gibt es, ich denke, nur im traditionellen Markt. Wie zum Beispiel, wir kaufen eine Rambutan. Der Grundpreis von Rambutan ist 7.000 Euro. Aber der Unternehmen verkauft dieses Rambutan mit Rupiah. Mit dem 10.000 Euro. Aber manchmal die Mutter sagt 10.000 Rupiah. Manchmal die Mutter ist immer, das ist sehr teuer. Das ist sehr teuer. Ich kaufe nicht. Und dann die Unternehmen sagt, nein, 9.000 Rupiah. Auch das ist so teuer. Und dann die letzte Preis von dem Unternehmen ist 8.000 Euro. Ja, das muss ich kaufen. Ja, vielen Dank. Das ist alles von mir.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Julian, Muhammad Julian Robert. Okay, and now is the question session, Q&A. maybe some of you, Bapak Ali Nasrul.
Zwei Tage habe ich eine 2 Tage ganzen Tag einer Veranstaltung teilgenommen, nämlich eine Inder. Inder, der immer sie tut so, dass eine Gruppe bauen. Diese Gruppe bauen, ja, da muss immer gegenseitig konkurrieren. Damit diese Menschen in Gruppe hat immer, wie heißt es, irgendwie schon Leistungen. Ja? Damit diese Konkurrenz, da erzeugt einen Preis. Das heißt, die Gruppe, nämlich, da muss immer konkurrieren gegenseitig, um das Preise zu drucken. Ja, deswegen immer gut, dass die Konkurrenz immer wichtig ist. Danke.
Lanjutkan Bapak Ali Nasrul. Vielleicht hast du auch dann auch einen Kommentar dazu. Thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad Julian Robert. And I would like to give on the floor to Ms. Amalia Aryani Pertiwi. She's going to present a subtopic about a cooperation between big and small scale business in Indonesia.
I think the slide is a little bit in problem, but it's fine. Yeah. Welcome to my presentation today. Today I would like to share you guys about the cooperation between big and small medium enterprises in Indonesia. Before I go deeper to the topic, I would like to share you the structure. First, I would like to give the topic that I want to tell you, and then question, hypothesis, my hypothesis actually, and then definition about small and medium enterprises in Indonesia, and then why is small and medium enterprises important, the facts, solutions, and end up with discussion. Firstly is, my topic is cooperation between big and small medium enterprises in Indonesia. When I got this topic, I was quite wow, because I actually confused how should I begin with. But we can see that we have corporation, big company, and small and medium enterprises. So I choose to focus on this small and medium enterprises, and and then the question come up to my head when I got this topic are, is there any collaboration between large firms and small medium enterprises in Indonesia actually? And then when yes, by how far? And actually, why should they cooperate each other? So I choose this hypothesis. Small and medium enterprises and large firms are completing each other in order to keep their existence. Whether my hypothesis right or not, we can take a look later. So first, the definition of small and medium enterprises in Indonesia, like Rizal already said before, but I will give you more detail maybe about it. Small and medium enterprises in Indonesia spread out over 99% of all firms in Indonesia. It's not a huge number, but it's almost 100% actually. And then it employs almost 100%, almost 100 million people, or we can say 97% of total employment in Indonesia, and then it accounts almost 60% of GDP, Indonesian's GDP, and they are self-employees, but unfortunately they are not formally hired. So yeah, they're just doing all by themselves. Yeah. According to the government, Indonesian government, there are 3 kinds of small and medium enterprises. First is the micro industry. Second is the small industry. But the third is medium industry. But the slide again, so that's fine. The micro industry have net assets up to 50 million rupiahs, and have annual revenue from sales up to 300 million rupiahs. And for small industries, have net assets over 50 million rupiahs to 500. So between 50 million to 500 million. And have annual revenue from sales up to 2.5 billion rupiahs. Sorry. Asset up to 10 million rupiahs, and have annual revenue from sales up to 50 billion rupiahs. So I would tell why actually small and medium enterprises important to Indonesia. Like Rizaldi already said, that small and medium enterprises could survive during the crisis, which actually the large firms cannot do. And then small and medium enterprises spreads out in many economic sectors, such as agriculture, fishery, restaurant, hotel, forestry, and also communication. And then small and medium enterprises has potentials to maintain the economic stability, also increase the labor force because they open the labor place, and then to develop a business, before we became a large firms. Of course, we have to be the small firms first. So, and then small medium enterprises can also increase the budget of state through the taxes. So the facts are, small and medium enterprises face difficulties in several aspects. I give a conclusion. I will give the major difficulties are in 4 sectors. First is in financial, and then they don't have an access to the market. They have the difficulties to go to the market to public their products, and then the human resources is quite a little bit in low qualities, and then the technology. They have problem in technology, so they also face the pressure from large-scale industry. One of the ex-ministry in Indonesia, ex-economics ministry in Indonesia says that it's not about who need whom, but it's not about the small firms need the large firms, but it's about the corporation. Actually, the large firms need the help from the small firms. There is a complaint from the small firms. They got an order from the large firms who told them to give the catering, and per catering they have to spend 2 million rupiahs per each day. So and then this large firms kind of late to pay them, and then they couldn't rise their business when the large firms also act like that. But small and medium enterprises can also contribute to the large firms. They can give the large firms a great amount of revenue. The example is from the Toyota Astra. So the fact is that you can see from the picture, the shoe producer in East Java, it employs only 15 employees, 15 full-time employees, but they don't have a proper machines. They don't have a proper technologies to produce their products. And though much production still by hand, make use of some machines for production. Yeah, they just use the technology that they have, but the technology is not high enough. So, due to unreliable power access, it is extremely common for small and medium enterprises to make use of generators to ensure constant access to power during frequent failures of public system. So they use the generator instead of the electricity power. Yeah, it's quite sad. And the solutions. Maybe I thought, no, it's not I thought. I've already read it in some article that I've Googled. Firstly, injection of funds is actually the solution, and government regulation in order to facilitate small and medium enterprises. But until now, it's actually it is already the government already much done a regulation or something like that, but it doesn't work. I don't know why. And then the cooperation between small and medium enterprises and large ones can help small and medium enterprises in the future. So the discussion. Do you have any question, maybe? Or is there any question? Oh yes, please, Mr. Andika.
Yes, the last one, because Pak Nasrul Ali should also give the answer. Please, Mas Andika.
Okay. Yeah, yes, please.
And challenges of small and medium enterprises in Indonesian market. So maybe it has something, a connection. It has kind of connection with the last questions addressed. And please, Ms. Dina, to explain us.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
On this cold freezing night, I would like to give a presentation about obstacles and challenges of small and medium enterprises in the Indonesian market. These are the factors that make those enterprises difficult to grow. First is technology. Technology is very important for the production process, not only to make it easier, but also to optimize the productivity. Technology transfer and qualified human resources are related to each other. Without one of them, it could lead to this impact. First is reducing the productivity, and second is absolutely decreasing in income. For example, in Lampung, most of the banana chips producers are still using traditional equipment to cut the bananas. It takes absolutely much time, many hours, just to cut the bananas. But with this machine, it takes only a few minutes for 5 until 6 kilogram bananas. So it's really
effective.
Yeah. So the second factor is bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is the first step on making your business legal on informal sector. Unfortunately, they have to fulfill a long list of requirements. It takes your time not only 4 weeks, but also 4 months. It takes like 3 until 5 months just to fulfill all of the requirements, just to process all of your data and everything. And with this kind of problems, it could lead to demotivation. They would have a second thought on building their business, or in another case, they prefer to be in informal sector. The last factor is infrastructure. As we all know, Indonesia has poor infrastructure. The facilities are inadequate. They have a limitation access into remote areas. Not only that, they also don't have the most updated information according to government policies, to industry map, and also for the import data. The bad impact for these problems is, of course, their marketing and distribution are not optimized. So here is the challenge. What would they face? Every year, the number of small and medium enterprises is increasing. The competition gets tougher and tougher every day, every minute. It is a challenge for those enterprises to be more creative and to put all of their potential into maximum level with limited resources, of course. To close my presentation, I have a joke. There is a mathematician, an accountant, and also an economist to find a job. The interviewer calls first the mathematician, and then the interviewer asks, "What do 2 plus 2 equal?" And the mathematician said, "It is 4, exactly 4." But for the accountant, he said, on average, 4 give or take 10%, but on average 4. But for the economist, the economist gets up, locks the door, closes the shade, sits down next to the interviewer and says, "What do we want it to equal?" So thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give applause to our Unfortunately, I mean, the discussion is very interesting, but we have only limited time. And right now, I would like to give on the floor to Ms. Angela Lloyd to give some feedbacks to our 6 presenters before we close our presentation session for tonight. And there are some snacks, but before we close our session, but maybe we would like to hear something from you.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I knew that I had the hardest job.